Hello, Angie Gerber here, and welcome to my podcast, Awareness. Once you know, you can't unknow. A place you can come to start thinking and shifting your thoughts to finally create the results you truly, truly desire. It'll shift your mindset and give you strategies to get out there and get it done. Let's get started. It's the holiday season. How are you all doing? I have been talking a lot with clients lately about this time of year and a lot to unpack. So I wanted to just come on and on this episode, talk a little bit more, and maybe this applies to you, maybe it doesn't. I have a suspicion that it applies to most all. So I encourage you to buckle in and see what you can get from this one, because it's going to be a doozy. Narcissist, that word just keeps coming up over and over and over again on so many of the elite clients that I take on. It's unbelievable how much this is just relevant in so many people's lives. So I want to take you back 3 years, maybe 4, to how it once was. And it feels like so long ago, because really it was quite a while ago if you think about it. Since COVID and everything that's happened, families are kind of torn apart, to be quite honest. You know, some aren't, some are in full intact as they were pre-COVID. And I know post-COVID, that's not the case for many. I know it's certainly not for mine. Our holidays look completely different, 100% different than they did before all of this stuff happened. And if you look at how people have been divided and, just how they show up or don't show up, it's changed. It's changed the way many of us live our lives and celebrate and go through life day to day, year to year. So I want to talk about that. And I want to talk about what you can do. And there's really not all that much you can do, but the one most important thing, and that is control what you can control. Take 100% responsibility for you and yourself. And think about that, because so many times, and I know I was stuck here for many, many, many years, decades, I'll say, I was a victim. Everything was happening to me, and how could they? And never looking at the good of a situation, always how it affected me and me. Do you hear a pattern? And think about that. And think about that now and how it applies going into this holiday season. The only thing you can do is control yourself and control what you can control, and take 100% responsibility with how you show up or how you don't show up. So many people are playing games right now. Like, oh, well, maybe this person will do this, or if they don't do that, or they still, have COVID or believe in that, or, it's affecting them and these people don't, and they're at odds. And it's really, really taking a toll on so many people and families. So I encourage you to just take action or don't take action. Whichever you do, just commit. Commit one way or the other. Make a decision and get on with it. Meaning, if you think you should make that call, make the call. Write the letter. Swing by. Reconnect. Or if you don't think you should or you want to, accept it and move on. But don't sit here and spin in this place of yuck and of low energy and of victimization and of how could they, and I wonder, and will this year be different? It's just so much energy is spent there. And I really encourage you to move on. Look at what you can control. Control that, which is yourself, 100% responsibility for you and your actions, and go from there. So, what can you do? I know I've had to let go of some relationships that I would have never, ever in my wildest dreams thought would go by the wayside, ever. But as you grow and as you change and as you become more aware and responsible and less of a victim and more of a leader and more in the awareness and more conscious of your unconscious ideas and thoughts, you will change. And most people, so many people won't. And therefore, you will get out of this low energy in this place where you once were, and you'll start leaning into gratitude and looking for the good and why something happened for you versus to you. It's such little shifts that make the biggest difference. And 90% of people don't know about this, and of the ones that do, they choose not to because they'd rather stay in the familiarness of the yuck and of the ick and of the low energy than ever step out and see what's possible and take responsibility and play the game at a different level. So I really, really encourage you as you're entering into this holiday season, and maybe you're apprehensive about going somewhere, or you're just like, oh, I don't really want to see that person, or you're trying to get your family, extended family and whatnot back together, and it might be uncomfortable. Just go in with your heart in the right place and go in taking 100% responsibility for what it is you can do and how you can show up and do what you can do with the cards you're dealt. Another thing I know Bob always told me, Bob Proctor, my first coach and mentor, is don't go as often and don't stay as long. So if you have to go into these uncomfortable situations, give yourself the permission to step out or, be very, very careful and aware of whether you're responding versus reacting. So many people, when you get back around these same people, or you go back to, the place you were then with these people that haven't changed, they're going to assume you haven't changed either. And you'll get into the same situations or the same, maybe arguments or conversations or stories, or do you remember when, or you're always been that way, or you do this or you do that. And they'll speak all this stuff over you. You can just be like, yeah, that was once, and that's not me anymore. Oh, come on, what, you too good? All these things people do to try to pull you down, to keep you down. Just be aware and choose to respond versus react. Do not get reactive in these situations with people that are baiting you and trying to be, and a lot of times they don't even know they're doing it. They're just doing what they do because that's always what they've done. And maybe you're one of these people. And I really encourage you just to think about it a little bit differently, maybe a lot differently. How can you show up differently? And how can you show up and be responsible and only control what you can control and quit being a victim? Really, if there's someone that you want to talk to, or if there's someone that you want to connect with, and you've been letting this riff get in the way, or you just don't know how they're going to perceive it or how they're going to accept it or not accept it, you can't control any of that. So just do what's in your control and let the rest be what it will be. And if you don't want to be involved in a certain event or with certain people, or you want to disassociate yourself with that, fine, do that. But do it and move on. Don't sit here and sit in the uck of it and sit and like just go around in a circle and have the same conversations and talk about the same things and bring up the same feelings over and over and over again, because you're not going to get anywhere. So accept it and move on and let it be in your past and let it stay there. And you just move forward and look forward, because that's all you can do. I know I talk with a lot of my clients about this with family members and things that have happened. And it's about, I had one client, and I might have shared this here before, but she's been leaning really heavily into gratitude and, thinking about what it is she does want versus what she doesn't want. And I know she went home and, I believe it was her mom, she was talking, and my lead client was just like, well, I look at why that happened for me, and, I'm grateful about this part of it. And her mom was like, oh, take your gratitude out of here. Like, just get away with your gratitude. Like, literally said that out loud. Like, what's with all this gratitude? Like, stop it. Really? That is how stuck people are. Now, what you want to do is you want to entrain them in your energy entrainment, which is where you set your standard. You set it high, you set it where you want your energy to be, and you hold it. And you stay there, regardless of what's said, what's done, what triggers come up, what people speak over you. You hold your new standard and that energy, and don't drop down. Don't get baited. Don't get triggered. Just hold it and be very neutral and look at it from a different perspective. This is where people talk about all of a sudden they're kind of like not taken out of their body, but you detach from like in the moment, in the crap of it all, and you either sit at a different seat at the table, or you just kind of look over the situation instead of inside of the situation, and really look at what's happening. Look at the programming. Look at the people and how they're behaving and what they're thinking and what they're saying. Because if you really listen to what they're saying, you'll realize they're not thinking at all. Really, first time I heard this, it was a really hard concept for me to understand, but play with it. Step back and step out of these situations you're going to be in. And look at the players. Look at the people. Think of it as a video game. Like, what is this player doing? What is this person doing? What is that person doing? And it's the same thing over and over and over again, because many times these people are just stuck on the same screen of this game of life. And they just sit there and they do the same things. They go the same places. They say the same things. They wear the same things. They eat the same things. It's all the same. Same thoughts, same results, look at the results, have the thoughts, have the feelings. It's all, and they're stuck on the same screen. They can't move to the next level. Look at it from that point of view. Become aware. This is all about awareness. That's why this podcast is called Awareness, because it truly starts with you being aware of what's happening around you, and that most people aren't thinking, because if they were thinking, they would not say or do most all of what they say and do. Watch the triggers. How can you become neutral and not respond or not react, but respond to things happening? How can you remove yourself if you need to? And if it's not healthy for you to go, are you okay with not going? How do you say that? Do you really care of the backlash that may or may not happen? How are you going to protect your energy? And, if you're one of the people that this doesn't apply to, I am so grateful and happy to hear that, because that has not been the norm of the clients that I've taken on and people. It just seems that there's dysfunctionality in every single family. And therefore, a lot of the holidays, when you're maybe forced to get together with families, or you're trying to, fit all these, I guess, round pegs in square holes, and it's just very uncomfortable and it doesn't work. Give yourself some grace and really just let yourself be okay with it not being okay, and with it maybe not going the right way. But reframe your expectations, reframe your attitude, reframe your awareness, reframe your triggers and your responding versus reacting, and taking 100% responsibility versus being a victim. If you can reframe those things, or even pick a couple of them as you're going through this holiday season with a newfound way of doing things, and with people that, you may or probably not want to be around. It's important that you set yourself up for success. You think about this ahead of time. And I guess I would really encourage you to quit playing games with yourself, and quit playing games with others. If you want to move forward with relationships, do everything you can in your power to move forward with them. And if they don't move forward, accept it. If you don't want to move forward and it's not anything that you want to do, accept that where it's at, and let that be what it's going to be, and focus on you and what you can control and how you can show up. I wanted to jump on here today and talk about this because this continues to come up and it continues to be a hot topic. And I know being, mid-December here, we're already in the holiday season for many people, and for many people, it's on its way here in the next couple of weeks. So I just want you to put yourself first. Think about how you want to show up, who you want to be, and ask your 80-year-old self or plus, older version of yourself, for advice. Have a conversation with them. Ask them what they would do. How do I figure this out? How is this going to impact your future self and who you are to become? It's a powerful thing if you think about it. If you can have that conversation, you'll answer a lot of questions from that point of view. Again, get out of today, get out of this moment, and look up on the situation, not in the situation, and have those conversations with your future self out 20, 30, 40 years. And what do they say? What's the answer? You'll find answers if you look for them. We have all the answers inside of us. You just have to ask the right questions, or be asked the right questions, which is why it's really important to get a good mentor or coach that can help you see what you can't see and ask the questions, and, get those answers that are inside of you to come to the surface. As usual, anything I can help with, you let me know. I'm here. Reach out, and I'm happy to help in any way. And we'll keep going with the podcast for the rest of the year, but happy holidays to you all. And be you, be great, and take responsibility and make it a good one. Thanks for spending some time with me today. And if you like what you heard, feel free to share, like, subscribe, follow, do whatever it is you do. I'd love to get this out to as many people as possible, because it truly all does start with awareness. Once you know, you cannot unknow, and it changes everything. And of course, if I can help in any way, I'm here and happy to do so. Until next time, make it a good one.